Did you ever think about kung fu fighting? No, not that type of kung fu fighting, but like real, nowadays, full contact kung fu fighting. Previously known as Sanshou, now commonly known as Sanda. That's what you're looking for. Chinese kickboxing. No, not Junfan Jikundo. That's not what it was. Also sometimes referred to as Lei Tai. Now, Lei Tai specifically means like the promotion, or more so the actual elevated platform. Basically, it is a mixed rules, full contact kickboxing bout with some special rules. In a Lei Tai tournament, you're going to see different types of martial artists fight against each other. Whether their background is more Wing Chun, more Praying Mantis, more Shaolin, or more Muay Thai or Savate, or in our case, more Jeet Kune Do. Let's talk a little bit about the rules of Lei Tai. First and foremost, it is a kickboxing-esque fight, meaning you're going to be punching and you're going to be kicking. Now, locally, our place didn't have the insurance for knees, so there were no knees. Also, when I competed back in 2016, there were no inside leg kicks, which is like a huge part of my game. I was very upset. Didn't seem to matter too much this time as they were thrown, but I'm actually not 100% sure if they were legal or not. So let's just assume that inside leg kicks are illegal. And locally, there were no elbows and no knees. But you could kick as hard as you want. No shin guards though. And you could punch as hard as you want, wearing MMA gloves. And you could pretty much hit any point of the body except the knees. If you hit the knees, it's a penalty, 1 point. Face and head hits were allowed as long as they were of the normal area of which you hit in most combat sports. But they had to wear like a helmet with a face mask. But an added benefit of this type of rule set is it allowed for takedowns. And not just your normal takedowns. You could do judo throws, you could do wrestling takedowns, you could do sweeps and stuff from the clinch, you could catch kicks and take them down. The way the points work is if you take them down and they pull you down with them, 1 point. If you take them down and disconnect and you stand above them as cool as you are and hopefully looked, 2 points. Any concussive or thunderous hit to the body or the head or the legs, that counted as 1 or 2 points depending. Again, penalties were given if it's like, being disrespectful, hitting when you're not supposed to hit, not listening to the coach, yada, yada, yada. Kneeing when you're not supposed to knee. A couple more of the esoteric rules. Because it is a elevated or simulated elevated platform, if you exit that platform, you lose a point. Especially if you are exited. What is the transitive verb of being exited? If you are removed from the platform by your opponent, you lose a point. If you and your opponent both leave the platform, no points are awarded. But here's the tricky thing. After every time you leave the platform or are taken down, you have to return to the neutral starting point of the position on the platform. And then the ref will call go or not. He'll be counting in Chinese for you to return at the starting position. Last little esoteric thing is that at the end of each round, you must come up, bow, and then go to your respective corners. So there's a little bit more pomp and circumstance in that regard, but again, it's supposed to be like this elevated platform thing, and it's Kung Fu, what do you expect? So as I stated, Lei Tai is the actual name of the platform, and Sanda or Sanshou is the actual art of Chinese kickboxing. But it's not just limited to Chinese kickboxing, Kung Fu, Tai Chi, whatever. It also had us hybrid Jeet Kune Do, Savate, Muay Thai people, plus true Muay Thai people from the House of 8 Limbs. This is a local gym here. It was pretty much just House of 8 Limbs versus Metrolina Martial Arts. Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do? I don't know if I'm Miyagi-Do enough. Maybe we're Eagle Fang? Enough pop culture references for people over 30. So what do the fights look like? Honestly, pretty cool. What do I think as a coach? Well, because it's a little bit different than other kickboxing venues and promotions, it is a little bit hard to specifically train for it. But I think it adds a valuable bit of experience, especially for some of my fighters that have only done point kickboxing or semi-contact. This is just one more step closer to full contact. I kind of like it as a intermediary step between semi-contact and true full contact kickboxing. Not to take anything away from Lei Tai or Sansho or Sanda, but it feels like an intermediary step, meaning like in semi-contact, you are very safe. The ref is very much so on your side as a fighter in terms of protecting you. Full contact, it's a little more no holds barred. You suck, you get knocked out, that's on you, dude. Whereas in semi-contact, yeah, you're gonna be protected, you're not gonna be knocked out. This, you could totally be knocked out. You can get kicked very, very hard. Shin to bone, shin to face mask. And I think it's a fun thing for people to try if they're interested in MMA, because this is the fork in the road. You have point kickboxing and you have jiu-jitsu tournaments, and they just kind of go on a certain path. You go from kickboxing, semi-contact, full contact, amateur, pro. And then jiu-jitsu, just do jiu-jitsu. And then you could maybe go to ADCC if you're 18 full of steroids and, you know, actually good at the art. But this kind of gives your normal hobbyist a particular fork in the road, whether or not they want to go to MMA. Now they have experience being taken down in a wrestling or judo way. Now they have experience of kicking shin to body. And now if they want to go towards the kickboxing route, if they go amateur full contact, they're going to re-pad up a little bit, but it's still going to be, now you have that full contact experience. For me, when I did it back in 2016, 2017, I don't remember what year because it's been a long time, I had a ball doing it and I wanted to do it again. The problem is when you sometimes go to these smaller organizations, you just kind of like can get matched up not ideally. I know when I fought, I weighed 155 pounds. And my partner was 6'2", my opponent was 6'2", and he did not weigh 155 pounds. And at that point, I'd still pretty young in my coaching and fighting career as far as that's concerned, so I didn't do as well as I would hoped. Now that might be more hindsight talking and regret, so I'll move past that, but we did have Lunchbox, who was 240 pounds fighting somebody that weighed 200 pounds. Didn't really matter at this particular juncture, but that type of mismatch does matter the smaller you are. For example, if I, being 170 pounds currently, went up against a 200 pounder, they're gonna be much bigger and stronger than me, and I don't know if I would necessarily agree to that. But considering how many people signed up, yes or no, it might not be a much choice for me if I want to fight. But that is the case at pretty much any locally run kickboxing tournament. Whether it's, you know, IKF, PKB, if it's this Lei Tai through CACMA, or if it's even a promotion like MMA, sometimes they just don't have people for you to, you know, have a match against. Even more so in jiu-jitsu. A lot of times I will sign up, especially as a Masters 1 or Masters 2 brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like there's not a whole lot of us that will compete. So a lot of times I will have to fight aged down or aged up or sized up or sized down. Like it's just if you want to match, you kind of have to concede certain things. But that's not really a knock at Lei Tai or CACMA. It just is what it is depending on how many people sign up to fight. So now you know what Lei Tai is. Tell me, are you gonna kung fu fight?